Whew. What's up, y'all? It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. You know what I had said in the beginning that I'm gonna do these when I feel like it or I feel inspired to create them? I genuinely meant it. This has been like a first podcast in like a while, but like it's rightfully so because I feel very inspired by this one experience I just recently experienced, which was watching Malcolm and Marie. Oh my God. Yes, this is a positive review on Malcolm and Marie. If you do not want a positive review on Malcolm and Marie, you probably should not listen to this. If you have a faint heart, you probably should not listen to this because I might say some stuff that weaker people might find offensive. People that take things personally will take it very offensive. And I find that the world has a lot more people like that. So I'm going to give you a disclaimer. This is a positive review on Malcolm and Marie. But guys, that show was not show. Why am I saying show? That movie was absolutely beautiful, insanely artistic and different. And there's no I'm gonna explain why I think so, but there's no words that should even explain why that movie was just absolutely astounding and phenomenal. Well, let's break down one thing for sure. So guys, this is a black and white movie in 2021 that is mainstream, that is really okay, they made a black and white movie in 2021. That is absolutely insanely brave. The whole team and everybody that was responsible for the videography and the editing and all that takes a lot of guts. And if you just don't even appreciate the fact that this is a black and white movie and an artist out there decided to literally be like, this movie would look better black and white, and they still posted it knowing that people might not even be okay with this, you already missed the whole point. If you are already not appreciating the fact that it's black and white, you already aren't supposed to watch it. Or if you don't have that appreciation for it, then the movie is not for you, because this movie is not for everybody. It's not for regular people or people that are simple-minded. This is a movie for people that think on a deeper level and are artistically inclined. So when I say deeper level, I'm not looking down on anybody that watch the movie and say, oh, because you don't like this movie, you're a simpleton or you're stupid. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this movie is not for everybody. It's not meant to be for everybody. It's meant to be for a certain group of people and certain people that think a certain way. So I'm not trying to offend people by saying it's not for everybody. It's legitimately not for everybody. One is black and white. And two, the casting. Oh my God. Zendaya. Okay, guys. She has legitimately become my favorite female actress. From Euphoria, she performs in such a way that is different. You feel her emotions. Her acting is nothing less than astounding. And it's very interesting to sort of see her in something other than Euphoria, but still perform on that same level. I get excited. Ever since Euphoria, I get excited when I hear Zendaya is in a movie. I already expect it to be different, to be real, to be very emotional and very in tune, because she is beyond talented. So we're not talking about, oh, she's a good actress. No, she is talented. She is a talented actress. She's not everybody's actress. She again speaks to a certain group of people, and her work is not for everybody to feel, but her performance as an actor is astounding. You feel the emotions. You feel like she's legitimately dating the male actor. Like it's just so insane how much emotion is put in this movie. And touching back on the black and white thing, guys, like through the whole movie, I didn't even guess or wonder what the color scene looked like or what it was supposed like if what would have been if it was color, if it would have been better. The artist legitimately picked the best way to literally showcase this movie and this story. And it's just absolutely insane how well thought out this movie was. So now let's break back down to Zendaya being the main actress. And the male actor, I don't know his name, but I'm going to research his name. He is, oh my God, like, don't get this movie is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. His acting was so on point and so emotional, and I really felt like I was with them. I felt like I was looking up from the outside in from the window what's going on with them. And I love how authentic and real every single scenario was, because that's how a lot of relationships are. Certain things I would argue over are so real. They're so real. They're not fake, they're real arguments. But the way they do it, the way they show it, there's so much nostalgia, so much realism, so much relatability, which is very huge. Relatability is huge, very, very huge in an artist's art, and how an artist portrays a story is so real. And that movie's so relatable. The things they would argue over are so damn relatable. And the way they argued and their relationship. And I love how, like, I saw the preview and it sort of said something like, this is not a love story. This is a story about love. And throughout the whole movie, with that thought in mind, you really see it, because they argue and they make up and they argue, they make up, they hate each other, they make up. That's how a relationship genuinely is. Like, a relationship is not, oh my God, we're in fucking good 24/7. No, like, a real true, not necessarily real true, a lot of relationships, people fight day in, day out. Like, every day, there's always an argument, but they have an understanding and a way to sort of come back and know why they're together and why they choose to be together. Because I have my thoughts on relationships, and that people choose to be with one another, as opposed to just love is a whole different aspect to a relationship, but being together is a choice. So through this whole movie, it really validated those thoughts and what it truly is being in a relationship. Because at one point, Malcolm was talking about, you just hate the fact that, like, I just simply love you and I don't expect much from you. Most relationships are like, what do I get from my relationship, and what does my partner bring to the table, which is 110% valid and real and should exist in every single relationship. But I love how he separated the two, because those two definitely do exist on different levels. Like, it's just so beautiful how well that movie was made. The passion from every single actor's perspective and their role was just so astounding. I'm not even touching on the fact that these people were in one room and they made a whole movie. Now I'm touching on the context. But there's like a whole shebang going on in the back, yo. Like this movie, they the roller coaster of emotions just in one night was so valid, and it touched on the hidden messages, the hidden how a woman sort of thinks in terms of like how she wants to share her message, and how guys also portray women's thoughts, and how a guy thinks and how a woman thinks, and so many other things. Like these are not again embedded, but this also shows you in different perspectives of like what is again like being with somebody that is like Malcolm or somebody that is like Marie, because they were both wrong in so many instances, and they were both right in so many instances, but they all found a way to be together. And I love how the movie finished with Marie missing and him sort of finding her outside and joining her, and how it sort of ended with him sort of saying thank you and how he's sorry. It's just, and I love it at one point, you know, he feels like he doesn't really need Marie, but he needs Marie, because throughout the movie, he has this Marie. He's always calling her name, looking for her. The first scene, he started looking for her, and he was losing his mind, but Marie was okay. It's just so different, because throughout the movie, you kind of see how he's in denial that he's into Marie, and she is such a huge part of his life. He's in denial. He doesn't want to see it that way, but she truly is. And I think he realizes that at the end when she says everything that she's done, but he never was grateful for her, or things that might have seemed very small, just to prove that point that he does need her, and she does play a big part in his life. It's just something so beautiful, because two times, even at the end, he wakes up and he's like, Marie, 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 Marie. He goes out and he finds her. He goes out in the middle looking for her when she's going out to piss. And I love how they touch on how they both were raised differently. It is such a well thought out movie. It's just so insane. It is just so insane. And I love how they have great moments in their whole movie, and they have such terrible moments. But when they're having good moments, they're really good. And when they're bad, they're really bad. And that's how being in a relationship is. And I love how they like, I like words can't even express this. Guys, all these pauses are not that I'm looking for something to say. It's just that I have a clusterfuck of things to say. There's just so much I can say that like I don't know how to even touch on it all. I don't know what to pinpoint because my brain is always racing. But there's a scene when they're sitting on the ground and Marie is sitting with him eating cookies, and there's something so beautiful about that. That's their meeting point. That is where that's their reason. That's why they're together. They see each other on that middle ground. That's their middle ground. That's where they meet. Marie understands him. Marie genuinely understands him, and she challenges his ways of thinking. It is so beautiful because those are the things he likes. And he does the same for Marie, vice versa. He challenges the way Marie views things. He challenges the way Marie sees things. He makes Marie feel good about herself, because she should. Regardless of the past and regardless of what she does, he sees value and he sees her for her. And again, this is my interpretation, guys. Nobody has to agree with me. This is why I made the disclaimer in the beginning that this is not for everybody. Even this podcast is not for everybody. So you shouldn't tune in if you don't see value in the show. But the show, I think everybody that is artistic needs to watch this. They need to watch it and see everything about it. So now touching on the artistic level, this is the most modern movie ever created. The B-roll on this movie was so good. Like the recording, the artistry, the transitions of them going into another room and the guy dancing and going around and all of it being one full take. Like, goddamn, bro. They did one full take on a lot of these scenes, guys. Like, if you're a true artist, you know how hard it is. You know how hard it is to be perfect and to do something perfectly and to have everything that you wanted and to look back and think this cannot be redone in a more perfect way and then redo the whole entire scene, which could be like 20, 30 minutes. And you might have to just redo that over and over and over and over again to get it perfect. But they did these scenes perfectly. And it's not only the actors, the crew did it perfectly. All those transitions and those camera movements from one scene to another were done perfectly, and they were stopped perfectly, and everything was done so damn well. If you're a true artist and you watch this movie and you really try to decipher it, if you do not see value in the way it was recorded and the way the artists did everything, they did their one take, and the way they portrayed emotion and how it was done is so perfectly. That whole first scene of Malcolm dancing, was nothing short of amazing. As a black artist, I can relate because I was raised in a family of just music was our middle ground. That's where we all sort of found our happiness. We come from a dancing community. Even black culture is very expressive and very dancey and emotional and has so much character and so much don't get me started with the sound choice and how they pick the correct music to fit the best mood and fit the way they are feeling and how they want to portray this message. This shows you how a filmmaker is not just a filmmaker. They have this duty to show and convey emotion. Sorry, guys, my phone's ringing. And showcase emotion in such a unique way. Like, it gave me such a big respect for filmmakers or sound designers and so many little aspects, or even people that draw focus into a scene, like little things. These are all jobs that you really that exist on set. There's a guy that legitimately is responsible for just pulling focus and making sure the focus is correct, and having it done so perfectly is astounding. It's phenomenal. This movie is a perfect representation of us, of our generation, and what how evolved and how certain artists are just so okay with being themselves. This is the most self-aware show ever created. Like, this shows so much self-awareness and so much artistry. It is absolutely astounding. The artist made a black and white movie in 2021. Do you know how many people told him not to do that? Like, really sit down and think about it. He made a black and white movie in 2021 where we're worried about 4K. It was shot on film. We're worried about 8K and we're worried about color and having this notion that things have to be so perfect and so great. But he did it in black and white. In black and white in 2021, and he had to listen to everybody tell him that this is going to be a failure, this is going to be bad, and he just literally said, I don't care. I'm going to still do it in black and white. And it's just so insane. There are artists that saw value in that. And this is why I keep saying this is not for everybody. It wasn't made for everybody. It was not made for anybody to just even touch on. And I love how they even touched on this in the movie itself when Malcolm is talking about what it is like being a black artist or being just an artist in general. He touched on that on his rant on the biggest scene where he was ranting about being an artist and what people expect of you. And there's something so beautiful about all of that. Like, there's something so beautiful. I rewatched that movie back to back. There's so much hidden messages and so many things to learn from and to decipher and to sort of see. And he talks about that, being a filmmaker and breaking the barriers. They broke barriers. They were not afraid to be different. They're not afraid to get a bad review. They were not afraid when they dropped this movie. Look at the way it was recorded. They were nowhere close to being afraid. They knew creating this movie that it's not going to be for everybody. So all the bad reviews they might receive or bad reviews they might get, I don't even know if these bad reviews exist or if they don't, but just me in the journey that I'm currently am as a photographer, black photographer, I can already see that this movie is not for everybody. The second I saw it, I knew it was not for everybody. This movie would be one of those movies that might not even get an Oscar, but it does deserve one. 100%, because the performance was astounding. The message was astounding. This is a movie that takes place in one house. One house. It takes place in one house. I don't know. This is insane. Sorry, guys. Just wanted to make sure that I was recording. But I don't know. Like, this is a movie I really, really highly recommend for my subscribers. Whoever sort of sees things the way I see them. This movie is absolutely astounding. It has a deeper message. It was shot on film, if that is something for you to watch. And it came out at the best time. As a black artist, this movie came out at the right time with the right message. So guys, I forgot that I had food in the oven. So I had to drop everything. But I'm going to cut this little part and it's going to switch over. But yeah, that's why you heard a lot of shebanging, banging happening. Anyways, back to what I was saying. As a black artist, I'm so glad this movie exists because I can see how a lot of people would not like it. Like, as blunt as that might sound, if you're white, you're most likely not gonna like it because you might not even relate with certain things. Not to say you're stupid because you're white or you're not gonna get it. A lot of white artists are gonna get it. Like, a lot of white filmmakers are gonna get it. They're gonna really understand it. But as a black artist, as a black man, that is a perfect representation of, like, I don't know, like, this whole movie was just so well made. It was just so well made. I don't want to get too political and get all too, like, racial and shit, because, like, as much as I care about it, like, I just don't want to add toxic talks to, like, a positive environment and all that type of stuff. But either way, like, as a black artist, this was very needed. This was very necessary. They did it in quarantine. They're trying to prove a point that it doesn't matter. You can still create. They did it with the crew of 20 for what I heard. I don't know. Quote me if I'm wrong. But the crew was very small for this project. And I don't know, like Zendaya and Malcolm. I'm so sorry. I'm going to research his name. This was very needed. I'm so grateful. I'm very, very grateful. They showed black love in such a beautiful way. They really did. You know, they showed true black love when they were arguing, even um, when they were together and on a good page. That's how I am with my girl. Like, aside from the vulgar words and all those things, that's not how me and my girl are. We don't swear at each other, but you just see the passion and the need and the want they have for each other. And it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful how, I love how Malcolm touched on, you know, not having these opportunities and not having all of this and striving and being different and, getting that recognition, and how Marie was such a big part of that. Like, with every strong black man, there's a strong black woman, a stronger black woman. Black women have such a task. Dealing with the black man is so hard because of all the negative things that we face as black men and the responsibilities and all the things that we face. We need a grounded, a powerful, a strong black woman to keep us in check and to give us that strength. And Marie's a perfect representation of that and how she sticks by him no matter what. And it's just so beautiful. And how these people face all these things from this movie has so many hidden stories. You need to watch it. If you're a real true artist and you want something very deep, very visually pleasing to watch, visually inspiring, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. Like, I really highly recommend this movie to everybody. Every single person, especially artists. You don't need to be black or white. If you're a real true artist and you think on a deeper level, you will see all these things that I'm talking about. I'm just so happy that this exists and this was released at the time that it was, it being Black History Month and everything, and it being quarantine and it being done with such a low crew. It just really inspires you to say you don't have excuses. You can still do it. There's so many other things you could do. Have hope. There's so many messages that this movie has shown me, so many inspirations, and I really highly recommend it. And I know it's going to get a lot of bad reviews. I just want to bring this out there so that other people can see in a different light. And it deserves the recognition, and it deserves good positive views. It's not for everybody. And I'm glad that it's for me because I took from it more than I took from many movies. This has actually helped me. It has actually helped me grow. And it's helped me view things so much differently. And I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. This is my contribution to what I think is beautiful. But with that being said, guys, thank you. I'm probably going to post it on my YouTube channel. Check that out. If you want to check out my photography, check me out at Shot by Shingie, SHINGIE.com. And yeah, thank you guys again. Thank you, Zendaya, and the male artist, the male actor. I'm sorry, but thank you so much. Thank you to your whole crew. Thank you for the filmmakers. Thank you to your whole entire crew. You guys were the stars, but the stars were also the filmmakers. Thank you so much because the way you showed that story was so perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm grateful. And I'm excited to see. I'm going to look at those credits. I'm excited to see anything including you people because it takes a lot to do what you've done and to do everything that you just what you've done with this. It's just so astounding. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's the boy Shingy. I'm out.